Welcome to Genki 2, Lesson 13, Grammar Point 3. In this lesson, we learn a new conjugation for adjectives to describe when something appears to be a certain way, but we don't have an actual factual base on which to determine our judgment. Okay, so we do this by using so des with adjectives. Okay. It is possible to use this so des with verbal stems as well, but in this lesson we are going to be working with adjectives. So an adjectival base attached to so des means that something appears to be a certain way or looks to be a certain way, but we don't have actual proof that it is that way. We are often basing this on visual impressions, so one thing it's important to remember is that you cannot use so des with things that are themselves a visual judgment. So you can't say that something looks like it's pretty because you judge prettiness with your vision. You would say either, that dress is pretty or that dress is not pretty, not that dress looks like it's pretty, because the visual impression is the impression. To use so des with e-adjectives, the way to do this is to drop the final e from the adjective and add so des to make this a sentence-ending predicate. Our example, あのセーターは暖かそうです. Right? That sweater looks warm. Right? It's not my sweater. I haven't tried it on. I don't know if it's warm. It may or may not be warm, but it looks cozy, so I say 暖かそうです, right? That it looks warm. There is an exception with the e-adjectives, as is often the case. That exception is the adjective e, meaning good. With the so des, you have to turn e into yosa so des. The example is あの映画は良さそうです. That movie looks like it's good. I haven't seen it, but maybe I've seen some ads or read some reviews. 良さそうです. Looks like it'll be good. For not adjectives are attached by themselves to so des. You don't include an intervening na, which is usually the case when your not adjective comes at the end of the sentence. So, スーさんは元気そうですね. So maybe I was someplace and I saw Sue and it looks like she's well. I didn't talk to her. I don't really know if she's well, but she looks good. She looks happy. She looks healthy. So in that case, I would say 元気そうです. It is also possible to use this with negative verbs, right? Something doesn't look a particular way. If you want to do that, you use the negative ending, which would be nai, and that is nai either for an e-adjective or a not adjective. The ending turns into nasa so desu. So, あの本は面白くなさそうです. That book looks not interesting. Right? Maybe it has a boring cover or a boring title. So I could say it's 面白くなさそうです. I could see a picture of a town that looks really sleepy, and I could say あの街は賑やかじゃなさそうです. Right? Taking 賑やかじゃない and conjugating it to become じゃなさそうです. That town looks like it's not very lively. You can also drop the des and keep the so, and then you have essentially created a not adjective. So we could say something like 美味しそうなケーキを買いました. I bought a cake that looks delicious. I haven't eaten it yet. I don't know if it's going to be delicious, but it looks good. So 美味しそうなケーキ. So that essentially is this incarnation of so des. We will in Genki 2 learn a different so des with verbs that has a completely different function. So for now, it's just this. It looks like attached to an adjective. Remember to read Grammar Point 3 in the Genki textbook and to take the short quiz that is on my courses. And I will see you in class.